Hello, welcome to the first in a 3-concert series of Lioness Women in Jazz. And I'm Amanda Monaco, and I'm with Lauren Sevian.
Hey, everybody.
And we're gonna just get to the music. So this is the first tune. It's on my record Glitter, and it's called The Mean Reds. We're joined with Brian Charette. We're joined by let me start that again. Joining us is Brian Charette on organ and Jeff Davis on drums. So that was the Mean Reds. It was named after a line from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Actually, a conversation about those days when you get the Mean Reds. So Lauren and I do this thing called Girly Day. Lauren, do you want to talk about Girly Day?
Sure. So, well, first of all, Amanda and I have known each other for probably maybe over 20 years at this point. And we spent a lot of time.
We're 29, right?
Yeah, exactly. We spent a lot of time playing together in different groups, and we became really good friends, and we started having these brunches, and we sort of affectionately dubbed them Girly Day because we'd have girly brunches and have mimosas and go shopping and talk about our lives as female jazz musicians and what that entails. And sometimes that entails the Mean Reds, So, but it's just a, it's fun for us to do those, those girly days. We're definitely due for one.
Oh my gosh, we're totally this out. The other thing about the Glitter is that Lauren and I went through a period of time where we played in a lot of bands together, and we were neighbors as well. So Lauren would come over, and I had the car. So
yes.
So Lauren would come over, and we put on our makeup together and a ton of glitter.
Yep.
And go to the gig. So
yeah, I think one time we actually did go through like an entire, medium-sized tub of glitter. We were like completely covered.
Yeah, we did. I believe that is true. Yes. I think, yeah. I have glitter. I now have glitter moisturizing, like a glitter moisturizing bar. They make those at Lush.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a great store.
So the next two tunes are Girly Day and Gremlin from the Kremlin, which was, hope you enjoy it. Take it away, Steve. That was fun. That day we were in the studio. That was really nice.
It was really fun.
It was really fun.
A reminder of what we love to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. Yeah. So Gremlin from the Kremlin is my husband. When he moved to the United States from the Soviet Union as a young boy, and he had very big ears when he was little. And when the movie Gremlins came out, apparently his classmates called him the Gremlin from the Kremlin. So that's where that song title comes from. And yeah. So and if you have any questions for us, there's a Q&A afterwards. You can ask away. We have hopefully we have plenty of answers.
And plenty of questions.
We might have questions too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play 2 more songs. The next one is Mimosa Blues. It's a hangover blues, even though I wrote it totally sober. No, seriously. But on my mother-in-law's piano, actually.
Oh wow! Cool.
Yeah, in Connecticut. Nice. And then we'll finish up with Dry Clean Only, which so Dry Clean Only is a song form called Rhythm Changes, and Rhythm Changes is the song form that we love and we hate. That can be kind of
we love to hate it.
We love to hate it. Lauren, are you still practicing it in 12 keys?
Yeah, this is a lifelong project, so but whenever I'm at a loss as to what I should actually practice, I go back to one of 2 things, either blues in 12 keys or rhythm changes in 12 keys. And so yes, to answer your question, Amanda, I am still working on it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Forever. We'll be
forever.
Forever. Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. So I called it Dry Clean Only because it's one of those things where, you have that really nice piece of clothing and then you're like, oh, it's dry clean only.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like when you count off rhythm changes, you're kind of like, here we go.
Or if you count it off too fast.
Or if you count it off too fast, which I'm really good at doing. I think we all are.
Same. Yeah.
We're like, we got this tempo. We got this. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here it is. Yeah, here's Mimosa Blues, Dry Clean Only, and then we'll have a Q&A, so ask away. And here's Mimosa Blues and Dry Clean Only. Yay!
Thinking about your love for rhythm changes, Amanda?
I will never stop loving rhythm changes, hating rhythm changes, loving rhythm changes.
It is a love-hate thing.
It is a love-hate thing. There's
It's all
something.
good though.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we have our first question.
Nice.
As sad as the current situation is, I found that this is great time for musicians to do our solitary work. Are you guys practicing more? Yeah. I'm teaching a lot more too, though, which is what's kind of crazy. Everybody wants guitar lessons, so I think everybody's practicing more.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely finding the time to practice more because I'm just here, you know. And I could actually have probably more structure to my day now than when I did when we were, you know, really just gigging a lot, you know, because you just have less time. So, and I have more time to delve into the things that I had been, you know, really not so much putting off, but wanted to have a chance to get into. So I guess things that I was inevitably putting off, I've been able to really focus on. So there was a period though, like where I wasn't practicing as much just because I just wasn't really feeling it, you know, due to the state of the world and things that are going on around us. So I just allowed myself that time to just be, and, you know, the music is always there for you to come back to. So I think, yeah, it's great. If you do feel the inspiration to, you know, focus on the practice time that you have. But I think also it's important to note that if you don't, that's okay too.
I have to agree with that, because as much as I have worked on, say, my technique or, you know, playing through stuff that I haven't played through in a long time, or these Bach chorales that I do, try to do every day, I realize I have not finished a complete tune this entire time.
Interesting.
I haven't composed anything.
Yeah.
Which is like weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I think that it just goes back and forth, really.
Yeah. In general, though, me personally, I have been practicing more.
Yeah. I got my right hand technique together finally. You know, when you're teaching online and you're like giving examples to students and you realize all the bad habits that you've gotten into, especially it's so easy with guitar, just
right?
You know, that it's so easy to just be like, oh wow, yeah, my thumb's supposed to be here. This is supposed to, okay.
And you're constantly watching yourself too, right? Because you're on screen, whereas where you're practicing on your own, you might not have been looking down all the time, right?
Right. And I'm always looking to make sure that my students can see my hands, because that's kind of
that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of the point. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's been it's weird. This is just such an unusual time as musicians. I mean, also devastating because we're not out playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Take your time. Take your time. Click, click, click. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So while we're waiting for the technology to arrive, Amanda's.
Oh.
No, I was going to say, Amanda, is there anything else that you want to say about about the project or the concert series or Lioness, what that's about? You want to talk about Lioness a bit?
Yeah, kind of. I thought, Lioness is it is also a band, but it's a group of female band leaders, instrumental band leaders, and our mission is to just do outreach and you know, women in jazz outreach regarding women in jazz, reaching out to female jazz students, just sort of sharing what we've learned. Oh, hi, Wendy. We just got a question from Wendy.
I see. Okay. Hi, Wendy.
Wendy is an amazing flutist and flute teacher and has put up some really cool videos. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Could you ladies talk about your live experiences as women musicians and any of the steps you had to take to make a career out of this that men maybe wouldn't have to take? Yes. I do not have children.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That's a big one for me. Like, I have female musician friends who have children, and I don't know how they do it. I think they're amazing. They're like superhuman. So that was one choice I made consciously.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also, I mean, I think I feel like I've been fortunate in that my early training in jazz was pretty egalitarian. It wasn't until I got to college that things kind of blew up.
Yeah.
Lauren, you've had experiences with that.
Yeah, I've had a few, you know. It's hard to sort of pinpoint like steps that I've taken that I would say would be really different than the steps that a man would take, other than, and I could be, I mean, I'm sure, you know, people might argue with me on this, but I definitely feel like that as a female musician, and especially as somebody who plays the baritone saxophone, which is often considered more of a masculine, you know, instrument, if we're assigning gender, you know, to actual instruments, but in the sense that you don't see as many women playing the baritone saxophone. I suppose I've felt that I really had to prove myself, you know, even more than some men have had to, you know, at least that I could really notice. And in some ways it's good, in some ways it's bad. I mean, good in the way that my priority has always just been about the music, you know, regardless of the fact that I'm a female, regardless of the fact that, you know, oftentimes women are first recognized for how they look versus how they sound, you know, and that's not in every single case, but I do feel that sometimes women, like playing this music, we do have to, you know, prove ourselves a bit more than some of our male colleagues, you know. And again, that's not in every circumstance, situation, but me personally, I've been in positions where I've felt that that's the case, you know. But if anything, it's just for me, and maybe this is just my personality, it's really just strengthened my resolve and conviction in what my purpose is, and that's to play music. And my vehicle of choice is the baritone saxophone. So I'm definitely the kind of person that tends to take any sort of negativity or resistance and spin it around so that, you know, it serves me and serves other people around me. And hopefully that can be a motivation for others that are feeling, you know, stuck or upset about, you know, their circumstances or experiences.
Yeah, I feel as educators, as a female jazz guitarist, and I'm seeing more and more women playing guitar now, which is really cool. But that's been something that I've really focused on with my students, to just help them be firm in their convictions that they can play this music and get everything, you know, and do everything that they can possibly do on it and not be scared that, you know, the boys are going to play circles around them or something like that. Because I find that even in this day and age, sometimes I'll ask a student to improvise and she'll get scared that she's going to mess up.
Yeah.
That's just such a huge part of it, just right there, like helping take away the fear and, you know, bring in positive energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question.
Ah, hi, Joanne. So now that you're all more tech savvy, do you find more collaboration with other musicians you weren't able to before? Kinda. In a weird sort of way. I mean, I do these Bach chorales every day. I have been doing them every day. Leading up to this, I've been promoting this more than doing chorales, but I have been doing Bach chorales with people that I used to play with a lot. My cellist friend Jean Carr is one of them, actually. And I've been reaching out to my students and collaborating with students as well. And Lauren and I still have to do one.
We're due for one for sure. I'm down.
So yeah, collaboration is different now. Being that we're both jazz musicians, it's a lot harder to collaborate that way. It can be done. It's a tremendous amount of work. My friend Noah Behrman has totally got it down, but I know that it takes forever to get it together, which is why we were really, really glad we could actually record in person.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you been you've done big band stuff, right, Lauren?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of recordings, like you know, some big band stuff for a friend of mine. I mean, and you know, I've done some big band stuff for a few different people. You know, obviously remotely, and just smaller group collaborations. You know, different videos and stuff where I've been asked to perform, you know, either on my own or, you know, with somebody else, but it's not, unfortunately, we can't do it where it's in a live situation yet, you know, because of the technology doesn't work that way. I think we're getting there, but it's not quite there yet. So I definitely do find that I've been collaborating with some people that I wouldn't be able to, you know, so that's a really cool thing. And I finally have a recording set up at home that I can use. And that was one thing that I had kept putting off and saying, oh yeah, eventually I'm going to get my home studio, you know, set up and everything. But the pandemic, you know, and the screeching halt to all of our work, you know, gave us, you know, opportunity to really, to get that happening, you know, and I started familiarizing myself with Logic a bit and GarageBand, so I can at least navigate it the way that I need to. So in some ways, definitely more collaboration, you know, with some people that I, you know, say don't live in this country, you know, which is unique, you know, it's a unique thing to be able to do. You know, so that's the beauty in this, you know, this terrible situation that we're in right now. And that's the silver lining, is that we're able to do this through the technology that we have now. Great question.
Yeah.
All great questions.
What made you choose your instruments? Well, my dad played guitar in a band with 3 of his brothers, and so I wanted to play guitar too. I mean, he didn't play guitar when I was growing up. He sold his guitar when I was a baby because he didn't think I'd ever play it, which he regretted for the rest of his life because it was a Gretsch Chet Atkins Country Gentleman, which is a really nice guitar.
Oh, okay.
It's what George Harrison played in the Beatles.
Okay, say that one more time because it was. What's the name?
Chet Atkins. It's a Gretsch.
Chet Atkins.
Chet Atkins, Country Gentleman.
Country Gentleman. That's an amazing name for an instrument.
Yeah, it was a beautiful.
Okay.
It was a beautiful guitar, and there's a picture of me that I post on social media every now and again. When I was a baby, and my hands are on my father's knee, and he's fixing the guitar in his lap, and I have this look on my face like, "Don't sell it, Daddy, I'll play it." So, and I think also too with playing guitar, I started asking for a guitar when I was 10, and my mother said it was a phase and I was going to grow out of it. And then I asked again when I was 11, and she said the same thing. And before I turned 12, I said, "Mom," I was starting to get rebellious, right? I'm like, "Mom, hey." She's like, "Fine, we'll rent you one." So as soon as I got a guitar in my hands, October 29th, 1985, I never put it down. After
that. The date.
Yeah. It was 2 days after my 12th birthday. So yes, I'm giving away my age. So yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Lauren, how about you? How did you pick the bari?
Well, I had started out in the alto, and because my older brother plays saxophone, of course, I was trying to copy everything that he did. And then I played that up until mid-high school, where I was just kind of feeling a little lost as far as what I was like. I knew I wanted to play saxophone, but the alto wasn't really quite working for me. So my teacher at the time, Jeff Lang, suggested I try the bari, because he was actually predominantly a bari player. And my response, of course, was like, "What? I don't want to play that thing. It's huge. I don't want to carry that around." And he said, "I just have this feeling you're going to fall in love with it, And that he was right. I mean, within the first few notes I was playing it just, the resonance was so powerful, it hit me in a completely different way than the alto. And I felt this immediate connection with it. And that's never gone away from me, And I think, when you find that instrument or that medium that's your voice, you just hang on to it. And for me, it's the baritone, And then after that, I didn't want to play the alto at all. I mean, I had to a bit in school, but I knew I was really going to just switch over entirely to the bari. So, yeah.
Sam!
Oh, Sam. Hey.
Sam is an amazing saxophonist. Check her out. She's on the Bandcamp and the interwebs. I've been doing a lot more teaching online. I'm finding it more draining and time-consuming than teaching was before. Yes, it is. How do you not let it overtake time for your own music making? Well, I'm not going to lie. The last month has been rough, because I said yes to every teaching gig that was thrown my way, and now I have 100 students.
Literally 100?
Yeah. I mean, 60 of them are in classes.
Yeah, right. But still, that's quite a bit.
It's kind of crazy. I'm enjoying it immensely, though. I have amazing students. So the first thing I do is I don't teach on the weekends anymore. I have given Saturday and Sundays. They're just blocked off. I use this app called Calendly that has my schedule. It kind of goes into my Google Calendar and lists and I can say when I'm available and when I'm not available. So that's something I've started doing, is carving out time in my schedule that way, so I don't have to think about it. I always put a lunch break in every day, or I finish my teaching day at a certain time, and I don't teach on Saturday and Sunday. So it's really just about boundaries. because otherwise it will take over. Have you been teaching online? You've been teaching online too, Lauren, right?
Yeah, definitely more than I have ever. I mean, not a ton, but even just a little bit. And the thing about teaching online is that I think it's, we're looking at screens. There's so much more involved than when you're just like in the room with somebody, So it's just your brain, I feel like, is already going into this overdrive situation, So it's a lot. I find it, even just teaching, like, say, even if it's just 1 hour, I'm like, oh, I can't even look at the computer anymore, And I started wearing those blue light glasses just so that I feel like it was, so my eyes don't get so fatigued. And especially Sam says saxophonist, especially as a saxophonist, because so much of what we do is like, even though it's all about, our airstream, a lot of it does come from our face and our sinuses. So I just feel like there's all this extra energy that's being, kind of pulled out of us when we're looking at screens all the time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would say if you can use the blue light glasses, if you're looking at screens a lot, that's really helpful. I mean, another thing is that if you can structure your teaching schedule just so if you're able to practice before you start teaching, because I know when I teach, I really just, I'm going to give you like the truth. I'm going to give you the real deal. And a lot of that you're, and teaching is very rewarding, and I really enjoy teaching, but it is like this exchange of energy, and sometimes you're just giving the energy. And when it's to a screen and not to somebody that's in person, is a little bit of a different, feeling. So I think that if you can possibly schedule your own practice time and the musical things that you need to take care of before you're teaching, and if that means, trying to get up a little bit earlier, because I'm more of an afternoon practicer, but I know when I have my teaching stuff, if I can try to schedule it before, if I can try to schedule my practicing before I start teaching, and then I actually feel more centered when I go to teach, because I've already been playing, I've warmed up, versus just going in there cold and then, you reach dry and it's dealing with that kind of stuff, But I like your idea, Amanda, about, setting breaks and setting boundaries for yourself is really important too,
Yeah, I've just put in, like, because my teaching schedule is so intense right now, I'll look at my schedule at the beginning of the week and I'll see what's filled up and what hasn't. And if I see that I have like more than 3 hours straight of teaching in a row, I'll give myself a half an hour break. I'll just write in my calendar schedule. I just write breathe.
Yeah, you have to make breaks for yourself. And if that, during those breaks too, like we were talking about meditation earlier, scheduling something for yourself, whether it's like, okay, I enjoy coffee, so I'm going to go have a nice cup of coffee, or I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to, if you have a cat or animal, a dog or something, it's like, okay, I'm going to spend a little time with my animal, just something to get you out of that, teaching zone for a second. And that can really give you a fresh burst of energy.
Yeah. Breaks are important. Naps too. I don't really get many naps lately, but
sleeping.
Yeah, you have to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I do is when I'm feeling really untethered and overwhelmed, I do a timesheet, meaning that I will take a week and I will write down everything I do in like 5-minute increments, and I'll do it for a week, and then I'll go back and I'll add up like how much time did I practice, how much time was I on the computer, how much time did I prep for classes, and I'll do the totals, and then that'll show me where I can change things, or it'll just show me, my God, you're too busy, like figure it out.
Yeah, that's a great idea though, because then you know what your metrics are, Like as far as how much time you're spending on teaching, composing, you know, playing your instrument, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yeah.
Has the pandemic... Noah Behrman. Woo! Shout out to Noah Behrman.
Hey, Noah.
Hi, Noah. Has the pandemic changed your goals for what you want to do when things go back to normal? Yeah, I want to play a lot more. I want to just play so much. And I feel like, you know, I'm really bad at booking gigs because I have like hang-ups about it. I don't know. It's a weird thing. And I think those hang-ups are kind of disappearing now because I'm just like, I want to play. I'm just gonna play
Yeah. You're like, I don't care. Give me a gig.
Create a gig. Actually, you know, Convergence Arts created this gig. Really, we applied for a grant from the Queen's Council on the Arts. So thank you to the Queen's Council on the Arts.
Yes, thank you very much.
And Flushing Town Hall for partnering with us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play more. I'm just gonna play more. I'm gonna drive to Connecticut to see you more, Noah, and play more with you. So get ready. Or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I in some ways it's like I miss the kind of like gig hustle that I was accustomed to, and when and whether or not that actually comes back and goes back to normal, I might be in a different place in my life. You know, it's like we've all been in this situation for about 8 months now. So you start getting used to how things feel. So when things go back to normal, like it's hard to say how I'm actually going to feel about how, you know, how my life and career was, like, say, because it'll be, say, maybe it's a 2-year period, you know, or a year and a half. So my goals in general, though, I feel like haven't really changed. You know, like Amanda said, I definitely want to be playing more. I do, like, you know, we have, you know, Amanda and I have our, you know, we have projects together. We each have our own projects, and I still just want to look forward to doing more recordings, you know, and things like that to bring those ideas and projects to fruition, you know. But I feel like my goals really haven't changed, but so much. I mean, really, personally, for me, my ultimate goal is just to be the best I could possibly be on my instrument, you know. And however, at the same time, I'm more thinking about, you know, life and just the greater good, and what can I do personally to make things better for other people through music, you know. So I have some more ideas on that I've been, you know, developing or working on, but they've all sort of been part of the picture, but I just haven't really spent much time on developing them. So, yeah, great question. All great.
Yeah, I think what my goals, you know, like Lauren said, I don't think I've just gotten more focused, I think, with the pandemic on what matters and what doesn't. Somebody actually, there's the saxophonist, clarinetist, and website designer goddess, Janelle Reichman, has this great blog. And early on in the pandemic, she posted something. She goes, make a list. In column A, write the things you miss. In column B, write the things you don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was pretty eye-opening for me.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of answers, right?
Yeah, and I feel like I'm gonna come out of this with more intention,
Mm.
more clarity, more intention, more focus.
Yeah, it's been not like you've been forced to slow down, you know. And I think, at least for me, I feel I've had a lot more time on my hands to really deal with things. And I think, again, that just it does, you experience this sort of shift, you know, in your approach and your personality. So I think, you know, it'll sort of feed into the way that we approach music and gigs and the life, you know, that we have as performing musicians.
Yeah, definitely.
So is
Yeah.
that is that is that it? Is that it for us, Amanda?
I know. Is that it for us, Steve?
I think we
Okay.
okay.
Well,
So do we talk about the rest of the series, Amanda?
yeah. So next up on Thursday, November 19th at 7:30 p.m. will be the LSQ, Lauren Sevian's fabulous quartet will be
Yay.
performing. Have you guys recorded yet?
We'll be recording this week.
Awesome.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It'll be
So
fun.
that will be the next one. And then we'll come back together on Sunday, December 13th at 2:30 p.m. with the Lioness Ensemble. So we made a record called Lioness on Positone Records with, well, actually, let's talk about your quartet first. So who's in your quartet?
So we'll have Helen Sung on the piano, Christian McBride on the bass, and EJ Strickland on the drums. And that's LSQ.
And will you be playing your tunes?
Yeah, I my plan right now is to play 2 newer tunes that haven't been recorded yet, and 2 tunes from my latest release, Bliss, that was released in 2018, I believe, on Positone Records. So we'll be playing a couple tunes from that. So we'll have a little mix there, you know,
Nice.
older and newish.
Awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be nice to see everybody and play.
Yeah, because you haven't played with your band in what?
It's been a hot second. I mean, I think with my quartet, probably last year, you know, the quintet that I have with Alexa Tarantino, we played in January, but my quartet it's been a while, so it's crazy how time just passes fast and slow during a pandemic.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, intense times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many thanks again to Flushing Town Hall and
Thank
to
you.
on the Arts and to you for joining us.
Thank you for
yet
being here today.
Online. That you chose to come to. So we thank you so much for that.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
And thanks to Steve for the technology.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. And we hope to see you on November 19th at 7:30 p.m. We are on Facebook. Lioness is on Facebook. If you look it up, it's there. What is it? Is it?
We're on all the socials.
We're on all the socials.
Come find us.
And convergencearts.org, not .com, .org, because we are a nonprofit, as is Flushing Town Hall. if you feel so inclined to make a donation to them, because I realized that there was supposed to be a banner that went up that something.
Technology.
What is it? No, that's at 2:30 p.m. because that's a Sunday, isn't it? All right. I think we're good.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a wonderful rest of your day or wherever you are. I don't know where
day, evening, morning, depending on where you're tuning in from.
I think some places it might even be Monday already.
Yes.
So, all right.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.